So you're thinking about moving to Idaho and you're looking at the Treasure Valley, and now you're really curious to learn about Meridian, Idaho to see if it's going to be a good fit for you and your family if you decide to move. That's what we're looking at today, and I'm going to give you guys some brief history on Meridian, Idaho because it's really interesting, and then tell you a bit about Meridian, about some of the neighborhoods, about what it would be like to live there. We'll also talk about how it's centrally located, what the schools are like, and what some of the amenities are like if you end up deciding that Meridian's going to be home. If this is your first time to the channel, I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Craig. I'm with the Living in Idaho real estate team here in Boise. And helping me with today's video, we have Jesse, one of the Living in Idaho real estate team members. And this channel is for you if you're looking to learn all there is to know about Idaho and the Treasure Valley and Boise and all the surrounding cities. And if you want to be notified each week that I post a video, then be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. And if you're considering a move to Idaho, we would love to help. You can call us, text us, or email us, whichever works for you, days, nights, or weekends, anytime. And we would love to assist you on that transition. So let's jump into it. Let's talk all things Meridian, Idaho to help you guys get a good understanding if this is going to be a city that you could call home. So Meridian, Idaho is nestled between the Boise foothills and the Owyhee Mountains. Meridian really combines that kind of small town charm with large town amenities. It's definitely a place where community and convenience kind of intersect, which makes it a very desirable place for new people relocating in from out of state to move to. When you look at Meridian on a map within the valley, it's pretty centrally located. You have Boise off to the right, you have Nampa off to the left, you have Eagle above it, Kuna and other things below it. And so you can kind of see that when you're looking at the Treasure Valley, it's kind of right in the middle. So depending on where you work and maybe where your kids go to school, if you have children, it could be really centrally located depending on what you want. In addition to that, if you like getting up to the mountains in the weekends, it's a really quick, easy shot straight up past Eagle, and you could easily get to McCall, but we'll talk about that in a little bit when we talk about drive times to kind of some hot locations around in terms of shopping or cities or the airport. But before we delve into the kind of modern day living in Meridian, I just wanted to kind of give you guys a snapshot of the history of Meridian, just because I think it's really interesting and it's always fun to know kind of what you're stepping into. Meridian was established in 1891 with the advent of the Oregon Shortline Railroad. Meridian was transformed from a desert landscape into a lively community. Interesting fact, Meridian was originally a town called Hunter, and then they decided that they wanted to change the name because of the principal survey line that kind of ran right through the heart of it. So they called themselves Meridian. So the introduction of irrigation systems back in the 1890s made Meridian a very viable option for farming and dairy, made it a huge dairy hub. It was actually known as the dairy center of Idaho back in 1929. Meridian was incorporated as a city back in 1903 with a whopping population of 200 people, and it's drastically not there anymore. There's obviously been some major growth, because now it is the second largest city in Idaho with a population roughly of 114,000 people as of 2021. So there you have it. There's some fun history about Meridian. Now let's jump into some more timely things that will affect you now if you're considering a move to Meridian. Let's start with the finances. Currently, the median sale price in Meridian is $499,000, which is going to be a bit more affordable than some of the surrounding cities around it. And there are a ton of great communities, specifically out in Meridian, that really might suit your needs depending on what you're looking for.
I think another really key piece that a lot of people don't know about is the new construction opportunity. So it is more affordable to live in Meridian as opposed to Boise or Eagle. But in addition to that, a lot of the big builders, CBH, Hubble Homes, are putting up these wonderful new construction communities at really affordable pricing. Now, these communities often have pools, clubhouses, really well maintained, really just a great opportunity for anyone who wants kind of a nice put together feel in a more affordable location. If you think about, especially Boise, right? You've got some great locations close to downtown, close to the foothills, but the homes do tend to be older, have more maintenance, maybe functionally they're not quite as useful. But in Meridian, you can have some beautiful homes and beautiful communities that are brand new, and you're still close to business centers, shopping centers, and places for the whole family.
Now let's talk about location real quick. So I already showed you where Meridian was on the map, but let's just hit some drive times. So from Meridian to Boise, Idaho, you're looking at roughly 15 to 20 minutes. From Meridian to Nampa, 20 to 30 minutes. Meridian to Caldwell, 25 to 35 minutes. And then also Meridian to, say, the Boise airport is going to be 15 to 20 minutes. And if you're curious to learn more about the Boise airport because you are considering moving here and you really want to have a good airport, I did a video on that, so you can be sure to check that out on my YouTube channel. In terms of schooling in Meridian, you have some really great top-rated schools all the way from elementary, middle to high school. The one downside to this, and this is really true of the entire Treasure Valley at the moment, but because of the rapid growth that the Treasure Valley is experiencing, there can be some kind of overcrowdedness happening at the schools. In terms of amenities, shopping, and things to do in Meridian, you're going to have a few options there.
My favorite things about Meridian, I think the Village has got to be at the top of the list.
The Village is this really nice outdoor shopping center. There's great trees all around, coffee shops, places to get food, obviously shopping. There's also ice skating in the winter. There is a really fun fountain in the summertime, a play structure for kids. In addition to that, you are surrounded by parks that are just kind of scattered all throughout the Meridian area. So whether you want to go to a large kind of public park or depending on where you might choose to live, you could have a local park in your own community.
We've got Settlers Park. Julius Kleiner. And if you love pickleball, I'm a big pickleballer myself. There's tons of new pickleball courts going up.
In addition to that, a lot of the communities too also have a lot of community pools. And so there's a lot of things to do here in the summer, especially when things heat up. And we also just got Topgolf, so that would be another thing that you'd be able to do. I also made a video on that, so if you want to learn more about that, I'd encourage you to go watch that video.
In addition to that, it's a great place to live for families. You've got Wahooz Fun Zone, Roaring Springs Water Park. Just a great place for people to get together.
In terms of healthcare, you're going to have St. Luke's Meridian Hospital. And in addition to that, you'll have numerous urgent care facilities. And then of course, outside Meridian, you're going to get some other hospitals as you move closer to Boise. So if you choose to move to Meridian, you're going to find that you do have a lot of options there, and you may find that there really isn't much reason for you to say leave and head to downtown Boise to get some other things. Maybe there are some shops that you'll specifically want to get to that downtown Boise have, or maybe you want to go for a show that evening. But there is so much to do in Meridian. Now let's talk about some downsides to Meridian. So earlier I was kind of mentioning how Meridian is pretty centrally located. Again, if you look at it on a map within the Treasure Valley, you kind of see that it's very centralized. That's good and bad. So it's good because if you want to hop in a car, it's not that challenging for you to get to specific things no matter what side of the valley it's on. The downside of that is that you are kind of centralized out in the valley and you're not really right up against the foothills. You're not super close to downtown.
Now, one of the main cons to Meridian is probably, I would say, traffic. It can be a little bit congested because it is kind of a big center for business. A lot of people are working there. Boise, Nampa, Meridian are all kind of like the big business centers of the area.
But again, you have to take that all with a grain of salt because depending on how you set up your life, you could love it. You could love the fact that you can get a home for cheaper in Meridian. You could fall in love with the fact that the schools are great out there, and maybe you could find something really close to that and you can really bring down your commute time. Again, in general, something I love about Boise and the Treasure Valley is that there are so many things to do. And so even if you are driving places, it doesn't take that long. And again, being in Meridian puts you right in the center of a ton of it. So I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on Meridian. I'd love for you guys to leave a comment down below. Did I miss anything? Are you from Meridian? I'd love to get your take on it. Or what would you like to learn more of? If you're serious about moving to Idaho and you want a guide in that journey, then be sure to reach out. You can call, text, or email. The contact information for all of this is in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.